September 9th, 2021. Transcribed. My father's eyes flash in my mind every time I try to break the curse we both carry, to give up the guilt and shame holding on to our pain stored in our bodies, given to us by those who came before and could not carry the weight. It is us who were chosen to be strong by our ancestors, whose pain we carry. But in breaking the cycle, I have to break away from my father's shame and guilt. I can live my life with authenticity, without shame and free from guilt. I know this life can be possible. Though I haven't seen him in months, his eyes still flash in mine when I think about revealing my true self to him. Will he hate me? That is not mine to know, or worry over. The truth is what it is. To release myself from that cycle, I have to let go of the fear and hate that you may see in their eyes. Remember that they have control over their actions. We cannot control what other people do or think of you. We can't even ask or control our parents into loving us sometimes. They have a choice. If they don't want a son who is autistic and love me as myself, then I will keep on as I have the past summer. I think distance might be good from my parents' perspective. September 12th, 2021, transcribed. Dear Diary, today was awesome. My friend came to visit while on their vacation to Ontario. What a blessing. They talked to me like old times. I haven't felt such energy so positive in so long. I am so thankful and grateful they had time to spend together. I have an open invite to blank. They and blank have their siblings with them there. Blank came out and isn't being supported, and so I told blank that anytime he needs a safe queer space in my home is welcome for him. So crazy to talk to someone for so long and not feel drained. We smoked, ate pizza, talked each other's ear off. I'm so lucky to have such a wonderful person in my life. Thank you, universe, for blank. I feel like a person today. Very thankful. Joe. September 14th, 2021. Transcribed. Describing this lifetime's role/purpose. To grow out of a difficult home. To lead by example. I am here to learn about the depths of being human. To learn to live and love your identity and influence without ego or shame. 7 truths to uphold. 7 chakras. Crown. Live in the present moment. Connection to source. Third eye. Seek only divine truth, intuition, awareness, and perception. Throat. Surrender to divine timing/will. Communicate. Heart. Love is divine power. Receive love. Root. Honor self, power, wisdom, protection. Sacrum. Honor one another, emotion, attraction, creativity. Root. All is one, trust, grounding. I know, I see, I speak, I love, I do, I feel, I am. To follow Aang from Avatar's footsteps, learn how to understand all aspects of myself and unblock my chi/chakras. Monk checklist. Shaved head, check. Solitude/silence, check. Deep reflection, check. On my way to being an air nomad, bye-bye. In the news of the world at large, the federal Canadian election closes September 20th, so possible political change may come if the NDP follow through. We will see what the future holds here, I guess. I had a nice visit with blank and blank yesterday. We caught up, ate chips, and had a grand old time. So wonderful to have people in my life that are so lovely to exist near. September 17th, 2021, transcribed. Today has been hard being alone. Bleached my hair for the first time and watched D20 and Survivor Man. Tomorrow will come. Keep on living for no reason, like my cat. I love you. The most poetry I have seen on TikTok today is the video is a man, mid-30s, wearing a hoodie and sunglasses. In the video, in the morning sun, he stands in front of a dry, sparse tomato plant with a single fruit. A small, solitary cherry tomato sits at the top of the twiggy stem. With soft piano music in the background, he recites this. As the summer months end, it is time to take stock of our harvest. He poses with the plant holding a mug like a dad showing you something their child made. He continues, how will we ever consume such bounty? Surely our food stores will be bursting at the seams with this bountiful plenty. He looks up at the one single, lonely fruit and says, we will not go hungry during the long, cold winter days and nights. Our bellies will be full as we feast and feast. Another look at the plant, and then up higher, maybe, the sun catches his eye. I am in awe, he says, as he connects back to you, of Mother Nature. She provides us all we will ever want or need. Spectacular. While I think this video wasn't designed as a work of art, all creation online is art expression of self, and by definition is art. This piece struck me profoundly. In the contested of the current global/society, reciting a poem about such bounty and the idea you will always be provided what you need, juxtaposed against a sad, dying plant with a single harvestable fruit, is hauntingly perfect. The poem feels true and is, but the harvest may not be what you expect. What you might need might be less than you thought you wanted. I found this true, and during the pandemic, it really feels like we are waiting for some grand harvest, but we are not gardening the ground that will be fertile. It also pays into the idea of toxic positivity that permeates all of modern society. The man never breaks character, or it almost seems as if he can convince himself that this single fruit is the grand harvest. Does he deserve more? Mother Nature does provide all you need, so who are you to say it is not enough? September 19th, 2021, transcribed. Manifesting for full moon, balance, abundance, prosperity, wealth, my path, healing, and self-care. September 20th, 2021, transcribed. Full moon release. Release. The need for others to validate your path. Release. The need for others to understand you. Release the need to be digestible. Release the belief that finding love is difficult. You are worthy of love and healthy relationships. Long-term goals. Starting over is okay. I voted in the 2021 election today. I drove to vote and waited in line for about 45 minutes, but then I went to the something and the mall. Crazy, I know. Big day, lots of errands. September 23rd, 2021. Transcribed. Big dreams, do you remember? All the daydreaming we did. Windows down, music up, but you hid us. I drowned in your cup. I learned a great deal from you. 20 years of who's who, showing just where we stood. BFFs, OMG totes, never had a fight long enough to matter. Now it's over, and I'm done being on a platter served to those who need me, as they grew fatter and did not feed me. Starving and dying, I called you pleading, ranting and crying, not knowing I was feeding your anger. I was crying, almost dying, the train calling, but I was falling away, but I called on the wrong day. Needed you too much, and that's okay. So I sit alone as I was before, but not lonelier. I cut our bond down from the throne, topple the crankier. A shame, guilt, and ugly words don't hold power over my name. I built a safe place and mine to be bold. Goodbye, my ex-best friend. My inner child loves and misses you every day. September 24th, 2021. Transcribed. How do I tell you I think this should end? How do I tell you I lost the rose-tinted glasses to realize you might never change and you will probably lie again? You knew before how I felt and lied in my face. 9 weeks and treatment, you will be the ace? Probably not, based on how you act and what you believe, and I set myself free. September 25th, 2021. Transcribed. You did it. I'm so proud of you. Stay here. Looking out my window, the train tracks call my name. The horn would blow, and I didn't know, crying in shame. The cat on the frame looked at me, and I said, "What do you see? Why do you get up? Why do you eat? Why do you love me on me with those little feet?" My darling cat just looked at me, and I swear she said, "I get up because I'm alive. I wake up each day to survive. All I need you to provide. All I need you provide. I just live here to survive." Good afternoon. On this fine day, Sunday no less, I broke up with someone who I thought was my true love once. I just can't take all the pain with zero gain. They're in rehab recovering from being a lying alcoholic, and they still get on the phone and talk to me in ways that really hurt my feelings, that I would get defensive. They would always apologize but never change. This time apart was good to break the spell they had over me. I told them I don't need you and we're not friends. I didn't have a script ready, but I think I said everything I wanted to them. And they had the audacity to ask what the connection is now. Blank, we broke up. Nothing. It's nothing, and you broke it. I love myself, and I'm so proud of me. Joe. September 29th, 2021. Transcribed. Barriers. Anxiety. From past trauma, from childhood triggers, from sensory overload. Treatment. Daily relaxation, regular routine, personal work on shadow self / higher self / present self connect. Depression. From burnout. Treatment. Being at home, relaxing and de-stressing. Daily physical therapy, indoors for chronic muscle tension. Query autism, query PTSD, query CPTSD. Auditory processing disorder. Dr. R stated auditory processing disorder issues. Or more autism. Needs. Form. Money safety. Financial safety. EI med. LTD hoop. Rest, peace, relax, cat, vet check soon? ? Make, create, love. Be abundant, stay alive. September expenses. Rent, $1,300. Phone, $96.05. MTO car, $210 yearly. Car insurance, $277.40. Groceries, $62.43, $69.27, $61.67, $28.70, $75.17, $297.24 total. Cannabis, $76.95, $79.12. Previous budget. Food, $250. Cannabis, $300. Credit line, $5,300. 0cc credit card debt. BMO canceled. New budget. EI, $2,096 a month. Rent, $1,300. Car insurance, $277.40. Phone, $96.05. Cannabis, $200. food 200 to 300. Car fix, new turbo 3200. My psychologist broke up with me because they can't meet my needs. Damn, I hope I find someone great soon. October 1st, 2021. Transcribed. Brain dump. Need decorations to help connect to ancestors in spirit. Bats, orange, skulls? Window stuff, pumpkins, planner/calendar, moon cycles with astrology and shadow work. Call grandparents. Pictures of ancestors? Are past lives real? If so, then I was one of the over 6,000 children. I remembered today asking to be white in my next life. I hated my parents because I didn't understand why I was alone. I think I died in a fight, but I was never placed in a grave nor ever went home. For my current life, I will use this to bring that child home. I will learn more indigenous teachings, as I have already been called to do. Hearing a song from Molly on CBS triggered it. October 3rd, 2021. Transcribed. 2 Egyptian past lives came forward. October 4th, 2021. Transcribed. Drove to Keswick today to wade in the Great Lake Huron. I collected a shell and sat by the water. Even misty with overcast skies, the lake is beautiful, and the earth has a voice here. I hear it in the creek that ripples toward the deeper water, the bird song and the loud blower machines the maintenance men are using in the park. Less natural, but the noise of the humans participating in the mundanity is nice. People walk, heads up, against the mist, walking their dogs, quietly participating. The chill in the wind is under my skin now, so maybe I will head home and be thankful for this time alone with the earth. October 5th, 2021. Transcribed. Goodbye, my friend. We need to have a conversation before my sister's wedding was not what is not what was needed to be said. My peace is not worth it. I am balance. After 11 to 12 weeks, that's all she said. I'm going to let the dead rest. October 6, 2021. Transcribed. My ancestors will comfort me and guide me where you failed. It's okay you aren't here. Your path is different while I prevailed. October 7th, 2021. Transcribed. What I'm insecure about. Why? I'm insecure about people judging my money. This is valid. Is this valid? No, I am financially secure and safe. I have unending abundance and wealth flowing to me at all times. Insecure about criticism over mental health treatment. I'm working on it with my primary care doctor and do not want to talk about it at this time. Privacy boundary is healthy. You do not owe anyone anything. Remember, their criticism comes from what they think is concern, so address it calmly but firmly. Gray rock number 1, offense/defense. Tone policing isn't nice. Remind them it's not in your control. Remember to love unconditionally, but hold safe boundaries. Safe boundaries. If I'm overwhelmed, I can take a break without shame or guilt. I can rest my mind at any time. Smoking isn't bad for you. It's a tool. Use it as such. Before reacting, breathe deep ×1. Neutral chi. Different timeline skips. 2008 March. 2012 Maya correct. Bernstein. Trump. Major definition of this universe. September 25th, 2021 meteor missed and NASA couldn't see it until September 26, 2021. Mortality theory TikTok. Time jump / universal transits. Number 1, personal / internal. Number 2, reality shifting timelines for global consciousness. When a number 2 event happens on those equal levels with the align with that current timeline within the global shift. People experiencing awakenings are rising vibes internally, which shifts them to higher timelines to learn new cycles. All cycles and lessons are to be learned forever and all at once. Closed karmic cycle, e.g., alcoholism and family. Internal karmic cycle change equals new opportunity for a new cycle. Always learn. Clear eyes, mind, and heart. Go deeper with your art. October 8th, 2021, transcribed. Karmic cycles are like washing machines, but when the cycle is over, if you don't ever learn the lesson and you leave the cycle, then it becomes a riptide drowning you, killing you. Keep yourself upright and breathing. Survive the riptide and you will find shore. Safety, land ahead, and don't let the world drown you. October 9th, 2021. Transcribed. One day. Balance will come one day. Imbalance, cut away. The ties will pull, but one day. You shave your head to the skull. Cut the old cycle, karma, toxic fear. Call in the peaceful balance you have craved for your whole life. Balance is not ease. Harmony is peace. All I've ever known has been out of tune. Dissonance rings in my ear as I hear them calling from the other side, where I know they hide. My past called me. It was a bad connection. But I got the SOS. I will not crash and burn. I burned away the chains that held me. Like Goliath, I freed myself from the ties that bound me down physically and mentally. Though I have a phobia of falling, I trusted my spirit team to hold me while I jumped into the void, and they did. While the fire raged, I was crying, almost dying. I had been caged, but my higher self was enraged. And when we stop setting ourselves on fire, we rise. October 10th, 2021. Transcribed. Thanksgiving at the neighbors. Wish I had dinner with my own family. Nice dinner and chat, still sad. I was really scared, but it was safe and nice. Thanksgiving Sunday, 2021. Mom. When I asked you that time about removing the alcohol from the house, including wine, and you denied that, continuing to keep wine in the house, that was when I knew you weren't on my team anymore. I was asking to implement harm reduction for everyone, but especially myself. I know it's hard to admit your mistakes or ways when you hurt someone and others, but Mom, you chose alcohol over my own safety and the safety of others in the home. Rather than face that you might also have a problem, you placed shame on me for not being good enough. I'm healing now, and I haven't had a drink since April. I hope you see how this addiction has affected our family, and as people are recovering from addictions, you push them away further. If you keep drinking, then I do not wish to see you in person. This is time enough that I have given you space to come have a conversation. Instead, you influence the family into removing my invitation to a safe family gathering. I hope your ego gets a punch. October 11th, 2021. Transcribed. My life right now. Live alone, 1 bedroom, $1,300 with cat. Times 1. Live in Newmarket, Ontario, times 6 months. Dr. Blank. No reason to stay in this town. Off work times 8 months sick pay. EI. CTD application. LTD reasons. Anxiety, depression, executive function, sensory needs. 2014 car. Will sell this month. Don't need it. Friends. Redacted and redacted. Single. RN. 3 years experience. Writing. Painting. Script idea. TikTok. Lots of scrap fabric. Sew something. Committed to sewing napkins for Blank's wedding. June 2022. Where I want to live. Lots of green space / bush. Quiet private. Near other community members. Internet. Can have a cat. This moon cycle to do. Sell car. Buy new laptop. Research Morgan and Lilith books. Return tent. Sell tent, $200 to $300. Sell car, $1,200 to $10,000. $12,000 to $10,000. Long-term disability paperwork, doctor redacted. Car insurance canceled once car sold. Go through process, fabric, make something. Couch corner, make, cat scratch. Pick up rest of stuff and drop at Sarah's present. Sewing ideas. cat stuff, couch cover, masks, clothing tailor, blanket, jacket, writing ideas, show script, book collection of personal experiences and essays. Detail how we can do better for trans non-binary ASD. Write how high school failed me correctly. Write speeches. My stairs. X DUI. Mom yelling at me on porch. Move out. Meltdown city. Kick X out. Ex best friend ghosted. Therapy. ASD self-diagnosis. ASD treatment at home with online resources. Grounding. Ancestor honoring and offerings. Candles. What's happening right now? What's helping me right now? Daily routine. 3 times daily affirmations. 3 square meals. Care tasks on top. Water, yoga, stretching, rolling out on mat, movement therapy and stimming, self-expression, painting/writing, naps PRN. October 15th, 2021, transcribed. Drove to Bridge North today to visit Grandma and Grandpa for 2 nights with Sally. Her first trip out. So far has been a nice visit with Grandpa. Drove around talking, updating me on everything he found interesting. He even sat outside with me as I smoked my bong and was pretty cool about it. He said I wouldn't have liked last weekend. Does that mean he didn't? I don't know, but I'm glad I didn't go. Seems like a bad environment. This weekend will be nice. Looking forward to a nice visit with them both. Sally's finally out from under the TV stand. Grandpa had to block it with cardboard. LOL. October 21st, 2021. Transcribed. Woke up, stayed in bed times 3 hours. Opened up all the curtains and greeted ancestors. Loves for cat. Got dressed in onesie. Make 2 TikToks. Breakfast on sure. October 22nd, 2021. Being sober is boring. In a different way than being high is boring. Being high is boring because it's entertaining and comfortable. In the feeling itself, it's easy to feel and flow the energy in your body. Being sober, I feel sludgy, like each moment is longer because the time drags out. If I was stoned, at least I would feel calmer, more at ease. My cannabis addiction saved my life. It let me unmask and feel again after years of dissociation. I'm waking up slowly, a bit at a time, but each time it feels like you are waking up all over again. The day I woke up from 2 weeks solid dissociation/derealization, I felt like a different person. Not good or bad, but it felt like I Freaky Friday'd into someone else. With a shaved head and a depersonalization, it wasn't a stretch. I still have a hard time recognizing myself sometimes. I guess writing helps. I'm trying to figure out what used to help me before I found alcohol and then cannabis. I don't remember anything besides bedtime, dark, don't leave. We were severely reprimanded if we were up past bedtime. At the time we were told, even as a baby, I was often left to quote-unquote cry it out from a birth. Later on, they put us facing a corner if we were quote-unquote bad for an arbitrary length of time. So I don't know. So if I never went to bed sober after so long, I think I just don't know what to do with myself. Well, I can't die from this, so I guess I will just write, watch the candle burn, and listen to the TV until I feel more tired. I only remember one dream I've ever had. As a small child, 4 or 5 years old, the dream is me being chased in a market and hiding in a rack of clothing. The dream ends when 2 men find me. I always feel a sinking in my gut at that point. But there's no more dream. That's the only dream I remember. The day I remembered that dream, when I woke up, I was shocked. I shared it with my mom, and she didn't care at all. Children know when you care. When you don't care, roll your eyes at your child and dismiss them in favor of your own thing. That child knows you don't care. And no matter your intent, it will always feel like that parent doesn't care about the child. This leads the child to wonder, why doesn't my parent like me? What did I do / what am I not doing? This was my entire childhood. Dismissed, seen, not heard, annoying, loud, crazy, lazy, weird, oddball, geek, nerd, weirdo, retarded, bitch, know-it-all. When I tried to gain more understanding, that is what I was met with. After a while it worked, and I wore a mask. The mask wasn't made by me, but I wore it for a long time. In reality, I was a child whose needs were neglected and not validated. Rather than believe that I had support needs, they believed it was my character that was the problem. They shamed and dismissed the person I was in favor of the person they wanted. They wanted a child to cook, clean, care for the dogs, do the lawn care, and work full time. I think what my family has a hard time with is that I took all this on, seemingly willingly. But to me, it felt more like I was bailing a sinking ship alone, rather than enthusiastically caring for a home of adults. When I told my parents I was moving out, my mother gasped and said, "But I thought we were helping." This shows how out of touch with what was going on she was. Shows how much she absorbed my experience. Even though we lived in rooms across the hall for 11 years and she is my mother. When the day came that she prized herself off from under the corporate boot that has destroyed our family, the lifestyle my mother has and has led does not appeal to me at all. Working the corporate ladder and the entire time complaining but never changing course. I hope the money is worth not being around when I was a child. There was ways to make money without hurting your family. The corporate culture, the control and manipulation permeated into her behavior at home as well, expecting us to behave like employees when given orders. I began to understand their parenting style when I understood how they trained the dogs. Our dogs were always a little bit bad, begging and barking. Their solution was to yell and refuse to train the dogs properly. Knowing that if they acknowledged my support needs as a child, that I would have probably experienced ABA therapy to help me, almost makes me thankful that I am the person who has been the best caretaker of this vessel, and that it's me making choices about my own health now. Feeling like I had a full and total control over my body and actions never happened at home. I always felt that if someone didn't like something, I had to change it, and was forced to change it once I wasn't cute anymore. Once I hit puberty, all the very gendered ideas and paths were chosen for me. Where's your boyfriend? Literally never thought about that. Guess I'm expected to have one of those, not even knowing what it meant. I didn't even kiss a boy I was dating until much older, even after grade 9. I'd kiss boys and girls when we were in younger grades at parties or whatever, but the lack of any queer or trans representation made me blind to my own self. This, of course, was on top of internalized transphobia and homophobia. I never knew what being outside of the hetero-binary world looked like, but the world I was in looked like death. The train whistle blowing on the tracks less than 600 meters away. Every day, I had the choice to live or die. Every day that I chose to stay at home, pet my cat, and smoke weed saved my life. If that's all you do, you are not lazy. You are alive, and I am so proud of you. Each person reading this right now chose to live today, and even though it's difficult to live in this world, we can stay. We can get up each day just to be alive, no other reason, not work or family. You got up and chose to be alive, to let your heart keep pumping. Just know that if you hide, it won't go away, even if you don't know what it is. I think if I never learned about trans and queer identity, even if I didn't learn about support needs, I would be dead for sure. The ability to have self-knowledge and education that supports your needs and safety is so important. This world is here for you, my love. Please go take it back from the billionaires by the balls. Art isn't supposed to feel like apathy. Art is supposed to make you feel something. The current media robbed us of so much vulnerable, raw art because it wasn't viewed by capitalism enough. For children, for example, No Children by the Mountain Goats, currently trending on TikTok because it makes people feel not alone in that feeling. It validates the feeling of the pit. Did they shove this apathetic art at us to try and drown the true purpose of art? To awaken the spirit and soul? Good art that makes you feel is magic and raises your energy from experiencing it, like a conversation with a good friend. Art will fill your cup when it's empty, raise your hope when you are most broken and alone. Art finds you, meets you where you are, and sits with you in the feeling until you're ready. It is not all in your control, but you are in control of yourself, which is comforting. Learning that I am not responsible for the emotions and actions of others was a game changer. My training was based on the foundation that if so-and-so looks at you with blank emotion, then you should do blank. The problem was that I was never taught that energy needs to be returned to be healthy. If it's one-sided, it's unhealthy for both people. One person is putting more energy than they receive, and the other takes that advantage, knowing they won't return the energy. I wonder if they know that they will never return your energy in the same way and actively choose not to, or if it's something that was adapted as how it is in the current dynamic. As a child, my true love was books. Reading was my escape. From school, family, life, everything was okay if I was in the observer in the world I was reading rather than being in the real life. Long periods of dissociation while reading were ignored. 10 p.m. Turns out that when you wait for over 6 months for your brain to kick back in, it finally does. That's what's happening right now, and it's not the most fun. It's been worse, and it will get better. October 23rd, 2021. Thankful for the gifts people have given me without knowing they were giving me something I would carry with me for a long time, possibly forever. The friends you have when you are a kid help you weave the fabric of you into who you are today, as this beautiful piece of art in front of us. Danny showed me Monty Python and the Beatles, not necessarily for the first time, but for the first time in a way that had spirit, a spark. I think it is the ways I saw you standing up for what you liked, even if maybe I, a news person, didn't like it. Traveling, exploring, being queer, trendsetter of elementary school. You are you, and that was something that you taught me, how possible it was to be yourself. Lenny taught me about dead stuff, skulls and creepy crawlies, and that they weren't scary, but in balance with the earth. That was a powerful part of your spirit I carry with me. Thank you. I freed us both a long time ago, and now my ancestors remind me to keep balance. It is just me now, but thank you for showing me what is possible. Ex-best friend, you showed me how possible creativity is, going to conventions and creating stuff just for fun. You taught me that putting yourself on display wasn't a bad thing, and that the spirit I've learned to cringe less, love myself more, and look on even my past self with compassionate eyes. Ex-best friend, you have always shown me unconditional love. You take people as they come and thank them for their travels. I may have never become who I am without your friendship and loving stubbornness. Kyle, stoic nature. I think we run on the same frequency. I am so glad I got to tease you both as you danced for the first time. Under very different lighting and decorations as now, but I was there in the cafeteria when the magic started. The song One Boy, One Girl comes to my mind about you both. I am so thankful to have been a part of this path with you. Parker taught me how to love old, crusty things, because their love is the most tender and sweet. So rarely felt, but the love of old dogs never dies. They keep watch until you are called home. What a wonderful teacher. We are all dandelions growing through cement, but we are growing and healing everything around us as we get better and do better. October 24th, 2021. When people say, "Wow, you've been through so much," it really feels like they are capturing it all but understanding none of it, or the true reality of your perspective. I think that it is fair of them to not understand your perspective, just as we can give ourselves grace in remembering that we may need to seek other perspective. Getting angry in itself is not good medicine, I was told by a teacher. The root of anger is fear, so find the fear and face it with grisly bravery. In your bravery, remember the wolf that teaches you humility, respecting that you, a sacred part of creation, but not the only part, from the 7 sacred teachings of the white buffalo calf woman, finding balance within yourself and all living things. The Sabe uses what he has been given to survive and thrive and accepts and knows how to use their gifts. And to walk through life with integrity is to know honesty with yourself, recognize and accept who you are. Do not deceive yourself or others. With this integrity, we are able to also learn to be wise like the beaver, using the environment in harmony and balance with survival. Understanding the wisdom in recognizing each person has inherent gifts, using them wisely and living your life by them. Listening with clarity and a sound mind, respecting the limitations of yourself and of your surroundings. Learn and live by your inherent wisdom. To paraphrase, however, wisdom and honesty need truth. The turtle holds the teachings of life on its back, moving in a slow and meticulous manner. Understanding the importance of the journey and the destination. Apply faith in your teachings and show honor in all that you do. Humility and truth both help you to understand your place in this life and apply that understanding as you walk. With humility, bravery, honesty, wisdom, truth, and love, be true to yourself and all other things. Have respect for all parts of life, like all parts of the buffalo or bull moose. To honor all creation is to have respect, live honorably in the teachings and your actions. Be mindful of the balance of things. Final lesson is from the eagle, who represents love, because they are the ability to fly, see all, and carry all the teachings with love. To know love is to know peace. Viewing yourself from the perspective of all the teachings is to know love and love yourself truly. Love yourself with humility, bravery, honesty, wisdom, truth, and respect. You deserve the love that you would show your own infant, and in turn, be able to treat those around you with the same unconditional love you show yourself. From the 7 Sacred Grandfather Teachings website, which in turn are the teachings of the white buffalo calf woman. So if I use these teachings to tell you about what happened, maybe it will be a way to show you how my perspective has changed since trying to learn these teachings. I am the eldest child of 2 people who tried their best in a world that values money over family. My mother has worked in a corporate office with over an hour commute since before I was born, and went back to work when each of her children were 6 months old. At the time she went back to work, I was placed in a stranger's home as a daycare, until the time I was 11 years old. My sister joined me at Dora's daycare when I was 3. I don't remember a lot of my childhood. Mostly I remember being hushed, looked down on, teased, and made fun of for not understanding certain things. Looking back now, I know that I am different, and they were not being kind or supportive of my struggling. I was often dismissed when bringing up concerns or issues I experienced because it was either irritating to my parents to try to understand what I was talking about, or just dismissed as too smart or just weird. Neither of which gave me any access to resources or change, and thus my environment got increasingly more uncomfortable and I was less and less able to advocate for my needs or get support. Now that I have more self-knowledge, I am much more able to understand why something is happening or why I am struggling to perceive something the same way as another person. I think it is normal to struggle to see another person's perspective, and that is especially true for anyone struggling to understand. It is not a moral defect of character. Anyone who makes you feel that seeking understanding is ignorant or harmful would rather misunderstand you than sit, listen, and hold space for you. When someone misunderstands you and is unwilling to hear you in order to gain that understanding, they are not in a place to understand your perspective, and that is okay, but it is equally okay to step away from that connection. You deserve people who want to understand you and who try to take steps to hear your needs and support how they are able. If someone can't even hear your needs, they definitely can't support them. The other person, when you step back, may feel a lot of their own feelings and have their own reaction. This is not your business or your responsibility if you have firmly communicated a clear boundary. I want to say here that communicating a clear, firm boundary is something you can provide another person. Anyone who feels attacked by a boundary has hurt feelings about something else or are fearful, and that may need to be communicated to have a reciprocal understanding. Hearing the other person once the boundary is communicated, as they're in the emotionally disrupted state, try to take a breath and give them space to feel and then settle into how they wish to proceed with a clear mind. If the other person keeps pushing to keep the conversation in an emotionally charged state, then they might have more anger or resentment they have bottled up, and it is coming out as anger. Now we remember from our teacher that anger is not the good medicine. You need to understand the fear behind it to take in the good medicine once the old is released. Take in humility rather than your anger. Let your fear be comforted by the truth and love, respecting the emotions in yourself and others, but also respecting the time needed to process and heal them. Be wise and honest with yourself and what holds your mind in painful fear. Pull the thorn from your side with the help of your ancestors. Soothe the pain of the loss and ease the painful wound with love, abundance, and joy. October 27th, 2021. When you are healing, there is a time, near the finish line, that is very nebulous and chaotic. It is the last throes of the past clouding your vision of the future. Acknowledge the fog and keep walking forward. You are so close to the point where you can feel yourself again. The connection is almost made. Spirit is with you. Dreaming of a home with a hobby farm by a river, honoring the land and people of the land. Love unconditionally and blindly. The future is ahead of you.